If you ever been on the field where you're just marked, basically you're ghosted by the opposition. We also call this isolation. This is the perfect video for you. Defenders just locking you down, you have no options, you can't turn, you can't receive the ball. What do? Step 1, staying calm and reading the defense. Because once you look panicky out there, the opposition senses this and gets even tighter to you. They're completely blocking all the passing options towards you. You're forcing bad passes, you're not where you're supposed to be because you want to get the ball and you just want to feel useful when you're playing the game. This forces you to make bad decisions throughout the entire game. And the most important thing to a footballer when you're in the game is your confidence level. And if you start not getting the ball and if you start feeling useless, your confidence levels goes down quite a bit. There is a certain way of scanning that will make things much easier for you. So let's say you're playing attacking mid or the striker position and you have your back turned to the opposition, where you most likely have the CDM behind you or you have the center backs behind you if you are the striker. They are not letting you breathe on the pitch. Basically, they're covering every channels that you can receive the ball. This is exactly when you have to read the defense, because 99% of the time, everybody on the pitch follows the ball. Whether if the ball is on your half or in the opposition's half or on either side, everybody focuses on where the ball is. You have to think about this when you're playing the game. To be able to get away from that strong isolation by the opposition, you're gonna have to go to a place where the ball is in the completely opposite side. So you can start creating yourself this space so you can observe where those gaps are, so you can put yourself in those gaps to receive the ball, to get away from the isolation. If you are running into space where the ball is being played to, now you are getting yourself into the pressure. But the goal is to get yourself out of pressure so you can have more room to play the game and also become more threat. Which brings us to our second point, which is using your body to shield and creating space. Even if you are tightly marked, you are really not out of the game yet. Your best weapon when you're playing football is your body. So you gotta know how to use your body. Use it to hold off the defenders, use it to shield the ball in front of you so the opposition can't touch the ball. Best way to be able to find these gaps and best way to scan is to be able to shape your body sideways. You can actually see more, because if you have completely turned your back to the opposition, now your vision is kind of limited. Think of players like Sergio Busquets or Thiago that does this incredibly well. They always position their body to see the entire field. Most likely when the opposition is isolating you, they're gonna be really tight to you. They're gonna be holding you. And your goal should be how to break away from those players. Your explosion, your quick acceleration is significantly important, because when you're marked tight by the opposition, if you're slowly moving away, now they're most likely not gonna allow you to do that. But if you slowly shift away, get them, yes, to come tight to you, but explode, to get away from that space, to break away from the defenders that are marking you super tight. Which brings us to our third point, which is mastering 1-2 escape and quick passing. This is the best way that you're gonna get yourself away from the pressure. Some occasions you can turn with the ball, some occasions you can kill the ball and you can shield the ball. You're gonna have to play 1-2 and get away from there. Once you receive the ball, pressure is gonna be on to you immediately. And as soon as you release that ball with that quick 1-2, now the opposition is gonna break away from you naturally because they think your job is done. But what you're gonna do right exactly at that moment to release the ball and quickly explode in behind the defenders or into a space where now the opposition is completely focusing on the ball you just released with 1-2. You're gonna have to use your teammates to your advantage so they can create this space for you. It's nice to be at location where there's not much pressure, where the ball is not there. Yes, you find that space there. But some occasions you're gonna get yourself in the situation where the ball is, where the pressure is, where the attention is. So what you can do exactly at those moments is to use your teammates as your shield, basically. You're alone, playing the striker, attacking midfielder, central midfielder position, and you're receiving the ball and you probably gonna have 2 or 3 players marking that position. This is exactly when you wanna bring in your teammates, maybe create a wall in front of you. So you are kind of hiding in behind them. Immediately, your CM, your CDM has the ball. Now you kind of command your teammates to get away from that space. If they immediately get away from that space, now most likely you're gonna have lesser pressure by the opposition, so you can receive the ball and potentially create danger. The best players, like Lionel Messi, uses this method quite often. If you watch Messi a lot, he's always under pressure. Most likely 2-3 players just designed to mark Lionel Messi. But he still receives the ball, he still creates danger. But how can he be so famous, so talented, so skillful, but yet alone still create so much danger and even find a space to create danger? Because he's constantly marked. So this is exactly the methods that Messi follows, where he either puts them in behind his teammates so he can create space for himself, or his teammates can create space for him, or he gets into space where he's completely away from the attention. Just remember, the best players out there, they're not only good with the ball, they also move, they also create space, they also connect with those 1-2 touches until they find the opportunity to be deadly. Before we get to the end, I also want to give you a bonus tip, which is your mentality and your adaptation. Some occasions throughout the game, you're just gonna be constantly marked, you're just not receiving the ball, you're completely isolated by the opposition. You tried all these methods that I told you about. There will be moments you're still not gonna be able to get the balls that you'd like to get. So you're gonna have to stay in the game mentally. You can't frustrate yourself by saying, well, I'm not getting the ball. Well, I'm not getting the ball. What am I gonna do now? If you keep thinking like that, now you also putting yourself under pressure as well. So you're gonna have to stay patient, stay positive that you eventually gonna receive that one ball that you can potentially change the way the game goes. And sometimes it might be a good idea to talk with your teammates that plays the other position throughout the game. Sometimes you shift positions, you change positions. Maybe if you're playing the attacking midfielder role, tell your winger to come inside for you so you can go out wide and maybe receive the ball a few times until you get your confidence back, until you are doing something with the ball and you're feeling useful. So instead of letting the opposition adjust you, you're adjusting the opposition for your game style. Because the more you move, the more you change, the more you shift, the more space you're gonna have to receive the ball, and the more mentally you're gonna be able to adapt to the game. So next time you're getting isolated, use these methods and let me know, see if it works out. Because you can turn tight marking by the opposition to your advantage. And if it just doesn't work out, now you still have to move to create space for your teammates, so at least they can receive the ball and you're still useful. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please drop a like, subscribe to my channel with the notifications on. I also have a perfect video for you to improve your first touch, your shielding the ball, and you can find the link right down here. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.